Practicum as a volunteer firefighter with East County Fire Rescue. Over the past 2 years, I've given 999 hours of my time to East County as a volunteer. I served under Captain James Troutman during my practicum hours. My practicum was supervised here by Dr. Matthew Wise. Coming into Concordia, I knew I wanted to study science. I knew I wanted to study medicine, but I didn't really have a clear direction of where I wanted to go. And I knew firefighters had something to do with medicine. I wasn't super sure what, but I knew they took volunteers, and that was what was important. And so with that in my mind, one day I drove by Station 94, which is within walking distance to my house, and that sign on the front says, "Join the team, be a volunteer." So I thought, okay, let's give it a shot. So I just walked in and asked them, like, "Hey, can I volunteer here?" And gave me an application, and 3 months later, I was in a volunteer firefighter academy. That lasted 3 months. I went every Saturday for about 12 hours. Towards the end of that, I had to enroll in EMT academy, which lasted another 3 months. I went every day. And I also had to become a healthcare level CPR certified. I did all of that while going to school here and playing baseball. I was tired a lot. But I got more training, more opportunities, and more direction than I thought ever possible just because of that sign. Just because on a whim I kind of just decided to walk in. I had no background in fire science. I never went in cadets. I was just the guy off the street. But firefighting introduced me to the field of emergency medicine, and that has now become the field that I wish to pursue professionally. Emergency medicine's fun. I mean, you don't know what you're going to get, and whatever happens, whatever you go to, you have to deal with it. You have to be the guy that says, all right, this person needs help absolutely now, and you don't get to turn around and question yourself. You just have to deal with it. That's fun to me. As a student athlete, it's hard for me to stay still, as you can tell. And I wanted a job where I have to move around, work with my hands, and I found that in emergency medicine. It's a field that I greatly respect and I greatly put effort into getting better at. When I first started out working for East County, I was kind of a gopher. Go for the med kit, go for the airway, go for my tools. That's about all I did. And my biggest fear at the time was that somebody would ask me for a tool and I'd have no idea what they were talking about. And go give me my Halligan. Or I didn't want to be that guy who was opening every single compartment all the way around the engine looking for this tool. But as my time and as my confidence and knowledge base grew in fire, I began to help patient care on calls. I take vitals on patients, deal with patient assessment. And during my practicum, I was even given the opportunity to take lead on calls. Taking lead is when you're the first guy at the door, says, "Hey, I'm with the fire department, tell me what's going on, tell me what I need to do." And for my captain who's been doing this for so long, to look at the volunteer, the guy who came in off the street and has 2 years of experience, to say, "I trust that you can conduct yourself respectfully, I trust that you can handle a situation, take lead." That was incredibly humbling to me, and I was very lucky to get that opportunity as a volunteer, and that's something that I've taken very seriously. On our shift, we also do a lot of preparation for emergency situations, because our whole job is to make an emergency not an emergency. We do maintenance on every single one of these. This is a fire engine, which goes on 90% of our calls. On the far left is a tender. The entire back of that is filled with 2,500 gallons of water. As a rural fire department, we operate outside of Camas, Washougal, Washington. We don't have fire hydrants all over the place, so this serves as our mobile fire hydrant. And we have a squad which works on wildland firefighting. Every single day, each of these are maintained, tools are checked, and supplies are checked. The biggest duty that I learned as a firefighter is that half of your job and half of what a patient needs is somebody to come into a situation who's completely calm. I've been gathering my skills to be able to talk to a patient who's having breathing problems the same way I'm talking to you right now. Not emergent, not in a hurry. It's just they need somebody who shows up and says, "It's okay, I got this under control." And that's something that I've been trying to get better at. I'd like to show you guys my uniform here, just because I want to show off. It's my fire jacket. These are my boots. Cool. And heavy. And my helmet says EMT firefighter. On the back it has my name, Gonzales. The point I want to make is that nothing on this uniform says that I'm a volunteer. When I put this on and leave the station, I'm not volunteer firefighter Ryan Gonzales. I'm just a firefighter. There's no difference between an intern, a volunteer, a part-timer, a full-timer. We're just firefighters. And so understanding that responsibility of getting to put that coat on has been something that I've been working to get better at. You know, it's something that I take very seriously because I don't represent me. If I mess up on a call, Ryan Gonzales doesn't look bad. East County Fire Rescue looks bad. The profession of firefighting looks bad. So that's why the seriousness associated with the healthcare field in general, you know, every scrubs, the white coat that a doctor wears, all of that has carrying with it a certain level of respect that you need to uphold. So going forward into the healthcare field, that is something that I will continue to take very seriously. I continue to train and pay attention because it doesn't matter the certifications I have when I'm out in the field. If I don't know what I'm doing, the piece of paper I have at my house doesn't mean anything. So these are just some of the people that I've gotten to work with, the people that I remember to take pictures of. Supervisor Captain James Troutman in the bottom middle, who I was on his shift. These people have taught me more lessons about conducting myself as a professional, showing respect to each other and to patients, and being able to keep composure in an emergency situation. The lessons that I've learned from these people will continue to impact me even though I do not choose to follow fire as a profession right now. I will always be thankful to firefighters and always thankful to the lessons that they have taught me. Thank you. Any questions?
How fast can you turn on?
I won't show you right now, but like 45 seconds. The full-time guys can do it in about 30 seconds. We do a thing called 0 to hero, where you go from street clothes, you have to put on all that, and then also your air pack, mask up, and be on air, turn on the bottle, everything. And those guys can do that in like a minute and 10 seconds. It's crazy. I'm more closer to like 2 minutes. Yes.
So what was the hairiest call that you got, or the hairiest situation?
When I was fairly new, I had to run a code call, which means we had to do CPR. And that was nerve-wracking to me just because I was new, never had to see CPR being done. But since then, you know, CPR is more like you just follow steps, it's easier. During my practicum, we got a helicopter emergency, which was weird because a pilot sent out a mayday call, said that his propeller stopped working. And all we had to go on was like longitude, latitude lines, and we just had to go to that area and try to find a helicopter. And it was stressful trying to like just roll around, and we found him on a golf course. But he was okay, but it was stressful trying to go off of, you know, longitude, latitude from a helicopter spinning down. You know, you don't have a whole lot of direction.
Thank you for your work. That was really inspirational to hear what you learned and all of that. I'm really impressed. So you're not going fire. What are you planning to do?
As of right now, I'd like to attend medical school and become an emergency room physician. And I believe that follows the same intensity where instead of you don't know what you're going to, you don't know what's coming in the door, you still have to deal with them right away. So it's the same aspects of emergency medicine that I'm looking for. And I believe in the power of education, and I want to formally educate myself as much as I can, because the more that I know is the more confidence that I have to work. If I did choose to stay fire, I would still need way, way more training than I have to have the confidence that these guys have. Anything else?